growing my audience allows me to charge more money for what I'm doing. And yeah, part of me feels kind of guilty about that. But I also know that being able to charge more money allows me to grow my business, allows me to reach even more people. So yeah, I struggle with that still. But I can only sell so many things to like my current friends and family. Like it's not reasonable of me to expect a small group of people to support me to the level that I want to run my business.
Mhm.
So yeah, I've been just kind of exploring those thoughts. And like I said, me and you have had lots of conversations about social media.
What do you think that guilt? What do you think that guilt's based in? That whole like price point guilt thing. Like if
Yeah.
you're gonna really get like really needle into some stuff, like where do you think that comes from?
Well, I know for a long time, and this isn't as much the case anymore, but we've talked about imposter syndrome and stuff in this group.
Sure.
For a long time, for a couple calls, Matt talked about, he asked if anybody was afraid of success. And for me, it was never about being afraid of success. It was about, I didn't have the self-worth
Right.
to think that I was worth that.
Mhm.
It was not like, I'm not afraid of money. It was like, I don't feel I'm worth that. But I've definitely kind of busted out of that. So yeah, I'm kind of, I don't know what you want to say, spreading my wings, finding my voice. And so I still have those thoughts occasionally. But I mean, like like we've talked about, like I would like to charge more for a piece of art, but I also respect the process. I know you can't just start there. Yeah.
Well, but to that, let me be ornery for a second. Who says you can't? What's the process you're referring to? The process you're referring to is an arbitrary thing
Okay.
to a certain degree, right? So here's what I mean by that. What I mean by that is there is you especially because you're talking about art, which is what I consider what you do art.
Well, thank you.
When you're talking about art, that's not a thing that has a like we could all agree that there's a baseline for like a gallon of milk, right? We all can say that like a gallon of milk should be maybe $3 or $29 in California. I don't know what the hell happens out there. So like there's a baseline for like what a gallon of milk is, right? But art, which you're making, or anything that is a thing that requires a personal level of commitment, investment, skill, right? Look at what people pay for training, right? Look at what I pay for a trainer, or what someone pays Sean to be their trainer, or pays Tyler, or whatever, right? That is, people are paying what they feel like something is worth because it has a different subjective value to them. And so there's a lot of people in here when we're talking about business stuff and we're talking about being afraid of success, or when we talked about that before, I think that thing that you identified, which is like, well, it's a self-worth thing for me. My opinion, I think that's what it is for everybody. If you're asking somebody like, are you afraid of success? The question really is, do you think you're worth being successful?